Okay, hopefully I am rolling. This is being recorded very shortly after the publishing of part 11, and this is part 13. So I'm one part behind, but I'm almost caught up. Part 12 is uploaded, I just haven't published it because I want to space them out a day so I don't dump somebody 6 hours of video unless in case someone watches all of these. Of course, they can always pace it out themselves, but sometimes I don't want to. Um, anyway, um, also, it's too lazy to put another number in the thumbnail right now, but not too lazy to record another video. Apparently, it's been a very long time since I recorded part 12. That is, um, my best recollection is that I was in the Kaoru route, and I was pretty deep. Tomoya and Kaoru already agreed amongst themselves that they were in a relationship. I started digging through my notes now because I'm I always for I always oh, let's start recording this, and then I'm like, oh wait, this game may require notes because there are names that you may not remember because you keep alternating between it and SDRA. And that makes it hard for you to remember things. I don't know. I can't find my notes. That's probably fine. Uh, I'll look at the names again as a review in a minute. Um, so they started dating. So that suggests we're kind of close to the end. But and I don't. But you know the points, the Kaoru, how well we did at choosing the right choices that Kaoru liked along the way may come into play somewhere. I don't know if that has actually come into play yet. I thought at one time, that one spot where you have to choose whether or not to tell UA that you are going with Kaoru alone, bring UA along with you, or just go home. Whether that had something to do with the bad endings that can result at that choice had some effect on previous choices you had made before that. And that was just another scorekeeper choice. But it turns out that that's not really true. It appears, to the best I can perceive so far, that choice is just like a constriction point. You have to choose, tell the truth to UA that you want to go with Kaoru somewhere just with her. And that's the only choice you can make in order to progress. The other two choices will lead you to a bad ending. However, just go home kind of suggests that it's gonna continue well, and then it ends up in a bad ending anyway. So I am simplifying things and saying that the Ayaka ending, as we know it so far, is a bad ending. It's not really labeled a bad ending, but right now I'm in a situation where getting the Ayaka ending is something that I'm trying not to do. So it's a bad ending in that sense. It's not the ending I'm trying to get. Um, so I figured out that the music for the third intro, which is probably the mage's intro, is actually there's actually a content ID on it, and yeah, interesting. Uh, that's how things go. So yeah, those this has the third one has a content ID. Um, so it's Ayaka, Yue, Shion, Kaoru, Minamo, and Koyomi. Koyomi is the one that I have a hard time remembering, and of course the last names, of course, I have a hard time. I think Yue is like Imasaka or something because um, Kaoru uses her last name a lot. Um, but yeah, and then I forgot what Tomoya's last name is already. I had it written down somewhere, and I didn't retrieve my notes. Um, But yeah, it's Tomoya something. I remember his first name is Tomoya. Whatever, let's gonna dive into this and see how far down the Kaoru route we can go. Oh, I want to check the scenes before I go in, just to see if I've missed scenes. So, I presume this kind of block of scenes, 77 through 86, perhaps, including 88 through... Well, 88 through 96 are Kaoru route specific stuff, I believe. 87 there tantalizes me because there's something funny going there on, because I have Kaoru to something ni, right? That's 85. And then 86 is testo no something to do with a makeup test. And then I have 87, there's a skip. And then it continues. So 87 seems like maybe something I could have gotten on the Kaoru route that I didn't get. And that's going to bug me a lot, because I'm going to have to, like, dither choices on the Kaoru route probably at some point to get that. I'm not going to want to do it now because, well, I want to go on to the other characters and do those characters' routes. I don't want to just keep messing around with this route. But I might have to in order to get 87, whatever that is. Charenji? Huh. 94. Like, I try to read as much Japanese as possible. It's something mono wa nan desu ka? So it's what is that? But I don't know what the first kanji in that means. So I don't know what they're asking what it is. Huh. But I presume that's the something to do with the movie that's not on a holiday, the movie on a school day. These scenes are long. Okay. So much messing around. I shouldn't mess around so much, because when I mess around too much at the beginning, I feel obligated to, like, rewatch some of the video in order to put in the description of the video timestamps to skip my talking. Okay. Rodo Suru.
Honto, そんな感じだよ。
So I'm guessing Honto is just this really abbreviated way of saying, like, really? Okay. And then I gotta find my control box. Oh, I always forget to do so many things. Why is that not right? Did I not load settings? Did I not load settings? Start the recording without loading settings. Choose file. Color settings data. There we go. Okay. Try again. Really? That's how it feels? I don't remember the context of this at all, but that's fine, because this is just a very casual conversation we're having right now. But I should bring up a Google Translate window as well, because oftentimes Google Translate gives you a better translation than the offline translator. It just seems to me generally at this point that Deep L is the worst. Sometimes it's like, it's not necessarily the worst for every situation and for every word or phrase. It's just generally the worst. So you can find like a specific thing where DeepL might work better. But if you're going to use one thing the whole time, DeepL is not really seems to be not the best. Yue smiled in agreement with Kaoru's words with an exasperated expression. Oh yeah, I remember again. This is where it's like they called him a kid or something because he like watched TV and didn't get enough sleep because he watched TV. Coincidentally, I didn't get enough sleep last night because I stayed up way too late watching TTV. Although this was on the Keep the Peace channel, but I still like to think of them as TTV. Watch Ninjago. So yeah, if I sound underslept, that's why. Well, whatever.
ああ、待ってよ。
So this is wait, correct? But that's the dictionary form of wait. So it's casual wait. Yeah. Okay. The two of them followed me in the same way. As each other, I presume? Yeah. Oh, I just translated English to Japanese to English. They both follow in the same way. Um, so I have to try to remember that Futari is two people. I think I can. It's Itori Futari, right? And I don't know what the third one is, but I know probably starts with me. Because like Mitsu is a generic counter for three things. Um, they both follow in the same way. It just omits the me in Google Translate because the me is implied. Google Translate somehow is able to like doesn't insert implied stuff as readily. Before I knew it, the morning butter buns were starting to settle down. Okay, one of the kanji got switched. It's the butter buns is something different. But I don't know how to reproduce that kanji, so I'm gonna have to go with butter buns. These days, which there's no period there, but yeah, I see a today. There's a today in there. Let's see what Google Translate has to say. Whoops. These days, the morning routine is starting to settle down before you know it. Okay. That's still probably wrong because the kanji's still wrong, but it sounds like a better guess at what that means than butter buns. Although that makes me hungry for a dinner roll. I don't have any on hand. The autumn weather was gradually fading, and we were getting ready for winter, which would be coming soon. Yeah, and I'm worried that this will go all the way. This timeline of this game will go all the way into spring, just because of the image of Kaoru leaping amongst the cherry blossom petals. We're on the roof already. During lunch break, I felt a little nostalgic on the roof, which I hadn't been in a long while. The number of students had also decreased compared to before. Maybe because it's colder, I guess? Sentences like this, like, if you're wondering, like, my Japanese knowledge, they basically completely stump me. Like, I look at this, the only thing I see is I see a kanji that means time right in the middle. If I can highlight it here. And that's it, right? You use this for telling time and probably also has other time meanings in different contexts. Sometimes it's pronounced G, right? Um, that's it. And like I can't get anything else out of the sentence whatsoever. It's how like lack of Japanese I know, and how far I am from being able to read these without a machine translator helper. I sit down on an empty bench, just like before. And it's like, I know this is where the empty comes from, because it also means sky. And you remember empty backup from uh, the from Deep L trying to translate the Xbox remake of Ever 17, which should when it really should probably be translated backup of Sora. That might have been spoilers for Ever 17. We'll continue. Come to think of it, what was the point of doing this? Because you just wanted to go to the roof. You had to eat somewhere. I had to get used to walk around the campus at my university, like in between classes. I would just kind of like pace the campus, basically. And I think, why is he mindlessly wandering and just thinking about stuff? Well, that's something I just tend to do. Sanpo oshimasu. Sanpo oshimashita. I didn't judge myself for it. To prevent an indescribable loneliness from welling up inside me? Well, what was that loneliness? Reminds me of, I don't want to sing copyrighted music on recording. Reminds me of that Hybrid Theory song. And I don't mean on the album Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. I mean the album Hybrid Theory by Hybrid Theory, before they called themselves Linkin Park. I forgot the title of it though. But anyway. I see a name in all my memories I made with Ayaka. Okay, it's Ayaka's name. I try to remember it. Okay, demo. Okay, so but now, I'm gonna hit the translate button on it anyway, but I think this is but now. But, yep, okay. I should learn to trust myself.
ここにいたんだ。
But now I have Kaoru. Koko ni tanda. So Koko is here. Ni is like a particle, it's like suggests its destination. But what is tanda? Tanda? It's a conjugation of what? I don't know. Oh, so this is where you are. Okay, so it's like to be at a place, kind of?
「何か見える？
Okay. What are you looking at? But there's the ka particle. I don't actually know the ka particle. So it's what are you looking at, but there's some sort of mood added by the ka. Oh, can you see anything? Okay, so it's... Okay, so the ka does something like that. I'll learn it eventually. Okay, before I hit translate on this, I don't know, probably some sort of well done. Nani mo mie ya shinai ke do chi, or do sa. So it's something about not being able to see anything else, or something like that. Let's see here. No, I can't see anything. Okay.
見えないけど。
You cannot see, right? Yeah, it's you. The translator doesn't know the context, but you can't see. Feeling a little emotional, I looked up at the city sky. The shopping district and the road stretching straight ahead. I wonder if you translated this to English, you might, instead of using shopping district, say commercially zoned. the commercial zone. It just sound a little bit too nerdy. I don't know. Beyond that, the sky blue sea looked small. I wouldn't describe seas as sky blue. Maybe they use the same term for blue, for like sea blue and sky blue, and other blue they might use the same word for green or something. I'm not that familiar with colors. Like I don't remember what the name of the word for the color green is in Japanese. I think blue is like aoi or something. We spent the rest of our time relaxing as we gazed at the ocean.
Tomoya?
Tomoya, yep. And he writes, Nande mo nai yo. Which, yes, there's a what is it kind of flavor, but I don't know what the details of the what is it. I have to remember that, like, non-nemo is, like, nothing. I forgot that construction. Okay. It's nothing. Doing the same thing before hadn't changed anything. Huh? What's he talking about? Continue. The only thing that would change was that Kaoru would be next to me like this. That alone is enough to make me completely different from before. Everything has changed. Before I knew it, I had obtained a new existence. This is very wrap-up. I wonder what kind of, like, crisis they're going to throw at this right at the end shifting. I don't think this is going to, like, wind... I don't think we're in the falling action. Like, I don't think this is going to quite wind down to the end of the route. I think there's going to be some big event it's going to hit towards the end to finish the route off, and that's why it's going to take a while. I don't know I don't really have any idea what it's going to be, though. A new precious being called Kaoru. Today was another ordinary day. That was a short day that just happened there. Kaoru and I walked together on our usual way home. Oh no, we haven't gone to the next day yet. We've just gone after school. Okay. By the way, did you find that book?
あの本って
That book, Tay. So what does the Tay do here? What that book, I guess. You know, the movie adaptation Kaoru was looking for.
あの本か。
That book. Yeah. Oh, that book. It's not something you can really do in English, is it? You haven't bought it yet? So, I recognize the ka. So that's the recognize the K form of ka, of kaimon, of kaimos, right? Kato. Mada, which I presume is like, in this case, it acts like a still kind of meaning, right? It can also mean, let's see, Mada. No, it's still, right? Mada is still. Kato, kate is the te form of to buy, right? Nai no ka is like a denial. That's where the not comes from.
まだどこにも置かれてなかったから。
Yeah, I haven't found it anywhere yet. Although it does get the kanji seemingly correct. This is like a different context problem. I see. I hope you can buy it soon. So I presume that kanji looks like a little like stick figure with a line, horizontal line across their face is like it's just a soon.
ありがとう。
Thanks. I don't know why I translated arigato. Okay, we passed through the ticket gate at the station and stood side by side on the platform. Or, well, that was a fail. Let me, try to unfail that. What in the world? Why is the OCR fighting me so? Uh, well, next. Backlog. I don't know what was up with that. Okay. There aren't many students like us among the adults on their way home from work. Continuing on. On a day like this, I was always prepared for a bit of a crowd. Okay, I can see the Itsumo, which is always. Yeah, so I guess that Kona Ichiwa, or is it he? Kona Hiwa is days like this, right? Itsumo is always. That mini Skoshi no something me, that's the crowd. And then the rest of that nonsense is being prepared. Eventually, the announcement came, and it was time for the train to arrive. I paused on announcement because, yes, it's a katakana word. Also, the arrive, do we have a iru? You have a dictionary form of to come, right? There he is. He was at the station. We saw him. Now she's with us at the station. She saw him. Kaoru, who was standing next to me, suddenly looked at me in surprise. Beyond that was the platform across the street. Okay. Dokashita. Presumably just kind of like, what is it? What's wrong? Paying no heed to my words, Kaoru staggered along the tracks. Hey, wait. Train entered the platform, making an irritating sound. Timing of Kaoru's movements and the timing of her. Okay, what does Google Translate have to say? The timing and Don Pisha. timing of Kaoru's move was perfect. Huh, okay. My fingers faintly grasped Kaoru's uniform. As a result, it ended up pushing Kaoru down. The train rushed into the platform while playing, and we heard a lot of noise around us. Okay, Hey, Cow... Huh? I had slipped into the crowd, but I could definitely see a familiar face there. But the man quickly walks up the stairs. Immediately after that, the station staff crowded in front of us, and while we were in an uproar, Kaoru? For some reason, her cheeks were wet with tears as she leaned against me. What is wrong with my body? Stinking train noise. When I look at Kaoru, she still looks like she's brooding over something. Kaoru? I call out to her, but she doesn't respond. Even so, I wanted to ask her why. Why are you staggering all of a sudden? Because of my medic, right? Rare. Didn't you think about what would happen if you didn't catch up in time? I saw. Kaoru was muttering something to herself. So that person, and then on the platform, let's see what it is in full. That person was on the platform across the street. What did you say? That person, Kaoru... The person that Kaoru saw... Okay, so that's the only things I can pick out of the sentence. That person, Kaoru saw a lover she used to date, is that it? There's no doubt about it. No, there's no way I'd make a mistake. I'm sure you'll get it wrong. Or I'll get it wrong. She continued her fragmented words as if trying to convince herself. There wasn't a hint of the usual Kaoru-ness in her appearance. Interesting offline translator rendering. Then you really did see him, didn't you? I have to apologize. I have to apologize to him. Kaoru? Judging by the way she's acting, it's safe to assume that Kaoru definitely saw him. I didn't think Kaoru's past would come back to haunt me like this. $11:15. Kaoru hadn't shown up at school today. Maybe she's waiting at the station. Judging from the fact that she hadn't contacted the homeroom teacher at all, she was absent without permission, which was unusual for Kaoru. I guess it can't be helped after what happened yesterday. It's not something I should be saying, but considering that what Kaoru said yesterday, it feels like there's no helping it. And we skip to lunch. The payphone next to the school store. Oh. Ignoring the crowded school store during lunch break, I called Kaoru's house. Does she have parents? It's like the whole Doki Doki Literature Club problem. Where are these kids' parents? The sound of the phone ringing echoes in my ears. And mine too. Thinking about it normally, she should be at home. In that case, it wouldn't be strange for her to answer the phone. But she's not at home. But no matter how many times I call her, she shows no sign of answering. If I remember correctly, I've heard that Kaori's parents aren't here during the day. Or at home, what the other. No way. I quickly put the receiver back on and dashed out of the room. Several minutes. So, several minutes Kaoru. What is it like? What does it render it? Kaoru is probably. Okay, so no. It's Pranami's probably. How would I guess that? How would I guess that's a probably? By the way, the word probably showed up in Duolingo, but I forgot it, so I'm going to paste this in Google Translate. Tabun. Well, that is actually, that kanji, like, bun is actually a rendering of, like, minutes. It's possible, so that's interesting. Kind of easy to remember, because that looks like two katakana tas tacked on top of each other. Kaoru.
智也、どうして？
Tomoya, how is it? Right? Okay, so why? Close. I called home, but it did not connect at all. So, but she's still wearing her school uniform though. Anyway, let's get out of here from the station.
でも、
But just because I'm waiting for you right now doesn't mean just because you're waiting for him right now doesn't mean he'll definitely show up. In that case, listen to me for now. Kaoru?
うん。
Mm. For now, we decide to take a breather. No choices so far. I'm waiting for a choice to show up. I'm sure we'll be able to talk a little here. It's like, oh, hiragana. It's a hard sentence to make out. Doi utsumori dayo. I have no idea what that means. What are you trying to do? It's not that I don't understand Kaoru's feelings, but isn't it a little too hasty? Don't you think it's strange to assume that you're seeing things just because you saw them once? That's not like, so, yes, the English expression for seeing things implies seeing things that are not real. That's not what this means is, do you think it's strange to assume that you saw them just because you saw them once? Like, it's like you don't have enough confirmation. But me as the author, we know something that these people don't, and there is a random man call out to Tomoya, think he was calling out to someone else by accident earlier in the story somewhere, right? At the station. And you might go, well, just him doing that is no indication that he is Kaoru's ex. That being said, why else would there be a person? You know what I mean? Like, there's more to the person than you would know. Like, this, it's foreshadowing.
智也に何がわかるっていうのよ。
Tomoya, what do you know, Tomoya? Well, he doesn't know anything. However,
私がどんな気持ちで今日まで過ごしてきたのかも知らないで。
you don't even know how I've been feeling all this time.
大体智也にはこんな経験ないから。
Besides, Tomoya's never experienced anything like this before. That's true. Kaoru stopped speaking and with an expression that suggested she noticed something, she choked on the visiting leaves. Well, I don't know what she choked on. Probably some kanji got messed up, but choked somehow.
ごめん。
So gomin nasai is kind of like an apology, right? Have you calmed down?
うん。
I'm sorry too. It's hard for Kaoru, but I couldn't understand how you felt.
そんなこと。
I can understand how she feels, and it sucks. Not that I've actually done that, but you don't necessarily have to experience something to know how it would feel to experience it. You just need to experience a variety of things, and from how those things experience, you can kind of interpolate, like fill in what other things would feel like, right? That's not... I don't want to get in Kaoru's way, but if you're wrong, I want to at least compare him to him. I think that might be quite right. Let me check what Google Translate says, but he wants to make sure it's the right person, right? I'd like to at least be able to compare him.
智也。
Or compare Tomoya. Okay. Chance. It's the first word, right? This is our only chance. Even if it's not like this, I'm sure we'll meet again. Even if it's not like this, I'm sure you will meet again. Huh? Okay, who's the pronouns on this? I don't know how to fill them. This is someone's only chance. Even if it's not like this, I'm sure someone will meet again. I don't know who to put in which slot. The context isn't really helping me. So it's an arewa, it's a rough eye. I won't be able to see you for the rest of my life. Yeah, maybe she moves.
そうだね。
You're right. Kaoru's expression had become a little calmer. I kind of don't get what's going on here. It's like, you don't really pass around girls like this. That's not really very ethical. You choose one. You choose one woman. You chose one man. She has to choose. You might go, what are you thinking, Shijila? Or I think it might be, because Tomoya, see, I don't know exactly what he's saying, but he's saying something having to do with, like, you might have other chances to see this guy. It was your only chance to see me. Right? But, like, why would he think that, one? And two, I guess this guy might be more findable because he's more famous, whereas Tomoya would sink into obscurity. But you don't, like, oh, well, this is your only chance to date me. You can always leave me and go after him later. What? It's either you commit to one, right? Well, there's no point in staying here. Shall we go to school? Kaoru nodded with a firm will. 17th. Did we skip the 16th? I don't know. Maybe. Fuga? Wait, I didn't bother translating Fuga, but who cares? I was suddenly pulled back from the dream world by the sound of the phone ringing in my room. Hey, what time do you think it is? I rubbed my sleepy eyes and checked the clock in my hand. Right now, it's just past 1 o'clock. Jeez, it's not like that. So I presume this is a Sunday? Honestly, don't go out of your way to attack me the moment I call out to you. I don't know exactly what that means, but I don't think it's really important for the plot. So continuing. Okay. Ah, that name. That name, is that Yue? I think that's Yue. I knocked my switch over. I'm gonna pause the encoding to find my notes to make sure that, no, I'm just gonna assume that that's Yue. Never mind. Yue. Or is it Sheen? It's probably what he's, because, yeah, it's he's asking, like, who is it, Yue or Sheen? Let me try Google Translate. Yeah, is it Yue or is it Sheen? Not Yue nor Sheen. That sounds kind of Kaoru-ish. Not like her main, like her formant or whatever voice, but it looks like a possible mode of Kaoru's voice. Honestly, even if the phone bill is cheaper late at night. Oh, is it?
ごめん、私だけど。
So I'm sorry. Something. It's a me.
もしかしなくても寝てたりする？
Do you live in a dorm or something? It's probably like I was sleeping, but I woke up perfectly.
本当にごめん。
I'm really sorry. Okay, next word. I don't mind. So, what do you want?
うん。ともやって明日暇かな？
So something about tomorrow. Ashita. Huh. And it's really to note about the kanji there that that's not actually that's not like the same as like rai. Like he'll use that the coming kanji there. Well, this is like if you say tomorrow. This here is like ashita. This is tomorrow. Um, Tomoya, are you free tomorrow? I didn't hear Hima. No, I do. I see Hima. That's okay. So this is the Hima. That's the free. I didn't know that was a katakana word. That's interesting. Um, but I thought Hima was native Japanese. Apparently it's not. So this kanji, this is day. Of course, most people know that this is day or sun. Like you're just saying next week, you would say Raishu. And the Rai would actually be like the same kanji as you were use for to come, kimas. Next month, Raigetsu. Same kanji as kimas. This is not tomorrow, ashita, not the same kanji as kimas. That's confusing. I don't like it. Okay. Nande? Oh wait, 1 in the morning? Is that what she's calling? Maybe it's 1 in the morning as opposed to 1 in the afternoon is the day off. So what is it? Okay, so it's sort of like why?
よかったらデートでもどうかなって。
I should have remembered like non-day is why. Maybe I haven't learned it. If you don't mind, why don't we go on a date? Okay. Yeah. Video games in this dreamland where girls ask you out on a date. Hey, can I ask you one thing? Try to clean this up a bit here. Put next to surreal 1. Here is knee. Hey, would you like one?
Huh?
Hmm? Isn't it normal for a guy to invite you to something like this?
多
No,
分
no, don't
普通はそういうものだと思う。
do this to yourself, Tomoya. Just take it. Take what you can get. I think that's what most people do. Isn't it? I'm happy that Kaoru always invites me, but, yeah.
だったら智也が誘ってくれる？
In that case, will you invite me, Tomoya? Yeah?
言ったからには誘ってよね。
Now that you said it, invite me. Yeah, but it's not like real because it's like you. I'll recite the script if it makes you happy. Kaoru is right. In that case, well, it is kind of true. Like, who invited you to the amusement park? Ayaka invited you to the amusement park, right? Tomoya, in his protagonist power, right, is able to get these relationships going without him having to do the hard stuff where you, like, nervously approach the girl and, you know, they just come right for him. Hey, would you like to go on a date tomorrow?
うん、いいよ。
That's good. Yeah, that's fine. That wasn't much of a change.
本当だね。
You're right.
でも初めてだよ。
But let's begin. But, oh, this is the first time. Okay. I guess same idea, right? It's like this is the start. Hajime is like beginning. Now you know what the name of the main character of Danganronpa 2's name means. The beginning. The start. The initiation. The first. Whatever. What do you mean?
智也自身が誘ってくれたの。
Tomoya himself invited me. So? It's like, really?
うん。私も全然覚えがないからね。
Yeah, I can't watch it all either. I see, so this is your first time.
そうだよ。
That's right. Yeah, but you were just writing a script, basically. It's contrived. Not that I care. First time, huh?
で、明日はいいの？
Tomorrow is good, is it not? So, what about tomorrow? I don't really mind.
じゃあ、明日住空駅前に11時ぐらいで。
Well then, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock in front of Sumiku Station. Ah, got it. Before I knew it, I had gotten used to going on dates with Kaoru like this. Wait, is this gonna time skip? We meet at school every day, and on our days off, we go out to make up for our time as shields. It's not quite right, but I'll keep going. Even though we're both still reminiscing about the past, we're still getting along like this. More than friends, less than lovers. I guess you could say that. That is not a, well, this game keeps it, like, you know, away from that kind of stuff. But it's not a phrase you really like to read in other contexts besides Memories Off. But this time, I have to make it clear. What is he going to make clear? Feeling the light, slightly frosted north wind, I ran to the station. It's a little before noon. There's no room for excuses at this hour. Kaoru!
ああ、やっと来た。
Which basically, you came. But with like kind of like a, oh, you're finally here. There is a bit of a thorn in her tone. So she's mad after all. No, I'm really sorry.
もう、せっかく待ち合わせしても、智也が遅れてくるから、いつも待ちぼうけだよ。
Geez, even if we meet up, Tomoya will be late, so let's always wait. That's why I'm apologizing, isn't it? Like this.
反省の色がないんだから。
Geez, you don't have a hint of remorse.
どこに行く？
So where are we going? First place, you're the one inviting me here today, so just make up your mind.
それじゃあ。
Well then. Yapori! I knew it.
何か言った？
Huh? Did you say something? Yeah, nothing.
それじゃあ、早速行ってみようか。
Well then, let's get going. This is like another way to get those CGs, like that you would of like her being in the movie theater in her street clothes. Besides getting the bad ending, they go through that. Interesting. She happily runs to the movie theater window. But what kind of movie is it this time?
智也、行こうよ。
Tomoya, let's go. I can't quite tell what the movie on the right is. Oh well. Obviously, the one on the left is Star Wars, because it looks like it and it says it. Yeah, I got it. With that, I tried to run over to Kaoru, but it would seem that if that poster was always up and in the background, that it's theoretically possible that these characters could actually watch Star Wars. And because Star Wars doesn't really have that much of a plot relevant thing, you can't really do much symbology with it in a game like this. I don't know how to relate this to Star Wars in any way. That would happen. What's going on? Oh, that's. I just haven't gone to the next line, I guess. Eh? Here we go. Kaoru stood before him. I don't know if it was a complete coincidence. If that was a complete coincidence. No, I don't have any basis to explain this as a coincidence. Yes. It's not a coincidence. The author who wrote Kaoru's route, if I don't remember his name, wrote it this way. A lot of really convenient stuff happens in stories because people write them. After all, I've seen him myself before. And this is where we see. So, this is the second to last CG of Kaoru. No choices so far. Kaoru's hoarse voice reminded me of a certain reality. All I could do was be surprised by that reality.
どうしていきなり現れたりするのよ。
Geez, why are you showing up all of a sudden? Kaoru?
私、言わなきゃいけないことがたくさんあって。
There's so much I have to say.
だから、今、ここで言わせてくれる？
So will you let me say it? Here and now? So I presume that's just a man symbol. Yeah, there's a lot I have to say to Kaoru too. I quietly left. Because I felt like it had to be resolved between the two of them. I stepped away from Kaoru and the other and walked through the streets without any leads. Will this be the end of everything? At the very least, it should be settled for Kaoru. But of course they could get back together potentially. But I...
ともちゃん？
Tomo-chan? So that voice sounds like Yue. I feel like an idiot. I feel like a stinking idiot. Why did I say that voice sounds like Yue? Because it did. Okay, their voices are similar. It's not like I knew it was a bad guess. It was just like... I hate how I got that wrong for some reason. There's like a terrible miss. Oh, Oh, okay. Okay, thanks, game. So every time she sees Yue, this might get really intense if I actually do the Yue route, which the route would probably do last. We'll save the Uchikoshi stuff for last. where it's like he'll see Ayaka, and it'll be, oh, it's Yue. And it's like learn to be like, I see Yue. Yeah, it's Yue. No. There is no doubt that Yue was smiling. What did I see wrong? Her clothes, the length of her hair. Everything's different. Why did I mistake Yue for Ayaka?
やっぱりこんなところで会うなんてラッキーだ。
I knew it. I'm so lucky to see you here.
お買い物に来てたけど、ゆえ一人だからつまんなかったんだ。
So something about shopping alone. I came to go shopping, but it was boring because Yue was the only one. Well, this feeling. At that moment, I reconsidered. Should I have gone down the Yue route instead? You mistook Yue for Ayaka. Yue-san is close to Ayaka. No, that can't be true. What's he talking about? This had never happened before, after all. Wrong route. So he hung out with Yue for a while. I slowly closed my eyes. The scene of Ayaka touching each other in the back of my mind. Sight of me interacting with Ayaka comes to mind. So we're gonna do a little flash forward, or a review flashback, or for example, the moment I confessed to Ayaka. For example, my first date with Ayaka, which was her thing, which was kind of didn't really like talk about it like it was a date, but it kind of turned out being like a date in practice. For example, that rainy day when she died, the event that happened on a rainy day that I'll never forget. Everything flowed by as if it were running through me. Now it's all precious memories that only exist inside me.
あれれどうしたのともちゃん？
Huh, what's wrong, Tomo-chan? Nah. Hmm? Sorry, Yue, I'm ruminating. What should I say to Ayaka? You said that out loud. Eh? I wonder if it's okay for me to want another girl, not Ayaka. Unable to say anything, Yue smiles silently. Yeah, me! Tell me. And then Yue comes in and picks you up and, see the nice girlfriend, supportive heroine thing. As if clinging to something and wishing desperately, I squeezed out the words.
いいと思うよ。
I think there is one. I think it is good, right? I gotta switch to Japanese. I gotta switch to Kana. I think it's good. Yeah, okay. It's like I'm forgetting that it's just a smile.
ともちゃんが音羽さんと一緒になるのに反対なんかしない。
I won't object to Tomo-chan being with Otowa-san. Yue. Yue smiled at me, smiled at me, and answered
そん
calmly.
なの分かってるよ。ともちゃんと音羽さんが話してるの見てれば。
I know that. If I just watch Tomo-chan and Otowa-san talk,
そんなのすぐに。
that'll happen right away. Yeah, they're like my parents, kind of. That's how they act. I'm sorry, Yue. I just, like, dumped on you. Dumped all my feelings on you. When I looked at her face, I honestly sent an apology to Yue. Maybe the reason we're making each other feel that way is because we're both a little conscious of each other. Well, Yue's like single though, and maybe there's some suggestion that she doesn't like want to be. It's not like I smiled as a childhood friend that I've maintained up until now, but a smile as a one girl who stands on equal footing. To Yue, that might have been something she needed ever since Ayaka was gone. No, even before that.
ともちゃんは優しいよね。
You're so kind, Tomo-chan. I think I'm the worst guy in the world.
でもゆえにとっては最高に優しいよ。
Okay, but, and then something about Yue. But you are the kindest person Yue's ever met. Well, you must have some really mean people around you, Yue. I see.
ねえ、音羽さんのこと教えてよ。
Maybe the author of the Kaoru route wrote this scene as opposed to the author. This is the author of the Yue route, and so this interaction is a little bit like not how a typical Yue Tomoya interaction goes. Hey, tell me about Otowa-san. It's fine. I've had that. I've like literally sat in a classroom in front of somebody where some girl was talking to some dude, and the girl asked the dude, "Hey, tell me about girls." We started walking from there. His name was Shane, which I don't think is sufficient PII to really matter. Tell me about girls, Shane. We started walking from there toward the station. During that time, I told him all sorts of things about Kaoru. Told her all sorts of things about Kaoru. But she told the most important stuff, everything Kaoru didn't know after she transferred here.
ともちゃん楽しそうだね。
Tomo-chan, you look like you're having fun. Eh?
音羽さんのこと話してくれてる時のともちゃんってあやちゃんと一緒にいた時みたいだよ。
When you're talking about Towa-san, Tomo-chan, it's like you were all together with Aya-chan. How does, I can see the Aya in there. It's like when she was in Iso with Aya-chan. Okay. Is that what she calls Ayaka Aya-chan? Okay, so it's like when you were with Ayaka. I see.
うん。ともや
Tomoya, question. Oh. Kaoru's here. That was unexpected.
あ、音羽さんだ。
Oh, Otowa-san. You only notice Kaoru's presence far behind her. I turned around to see Kaoru.
んじゃ、ゆえは行くから。
Well then, Yue will be going. Was Yue just being considerate in her own way? Right? Like she could see that you were like, needed someone to hang out with. Like, I'm lonely. No, it's more like, I think you were lonely. Or was she avoiding seeing Kaoru face to face? Secret jelly. We already knew that. I'm sorry. Gomin. Well, she probably had to be that like all her life because Tomoya chose the other girl, didn't he? I don't know why he's such a thing to. I mean, for someone like me, where it's like I'll have a tendency to. There isn't really a lot of fish in the sea, right? There's actually only like one, and you have to catch her. So, if I were to actually pick up a girlfriend, for example, I would have a tendency to be very tightly graspy because it's so difficult to get just one. If I lose the one I have, it would be so difficult to get another one. You know what I mean? At least for someone with a personality like mine and behavioral characteristics like me, the way I am isn't very conducive to picking up a relationship. So, I kind of grab hard. And also, if I had a childhood friend, like I had someone I was already friends with, I would kind of try to like exploit that, right? I would like if she's dating some other person and I couldn't get you, I'd be like, "Arr." I kind of get this feeling. The thing is, I don't have any childhood friends like that, so you don't have that. I don't have that problem. No, like, what if I had a chance at her, not the guy she fell for, but. But the thing is, like, Yue, right? Like, is it like reverse where it's like, Tomoya, she thought maybe could have been her only chance, right? And losing Tomoya, it's like, how is she going to find another one? She did say that Tomoya was the kindest person she knew. The sight of her from behind conveyed Yue's feelings ever so slightly. Sayonara. Yeah, and it may not necessarily, if you're not very familiar with like how the Japanese speak, you may not necessarily understand that, right? Like, sayonara is a very final goodbye. So he's like saying, like, oh, goodbye, Yue for now, see you tomorrow. He's like, goodbye, Yue. Very profound kind of goodbye. Maybe it was a sign of a break in my relationship with her as a childhood friend. But when tomorrow comes, she'll probably treat me as a familiar again. Maybe that's something different from before. Maybe she's just a normal friend as opposed to a childhood one. I stare at her from behind.
あれ、今坂さんがいたと思ったんだけど。
Right, Imasaka-san. Okay, the Ima is the same Ima as now. Huh? I thought Imasaka-san was here. She went home ahead of us. Anyway, are you done already?
うん。私が言い残したことは全部伝えたよ。
Yeah. I told him everything. It's very, it's like, I told you everything I said, but it's probably supposed to be, I told him everything I told you, right? Or just like, oh man. Soka. I see. Her face, her words confirmed that everything had been resolved. But resolved to what? What is the resolution? You're just like, okay, we get it. We understand each other now. Now we just go on to our lives. I'll find a new girl. She probably will not be as good looking as you, but that's not everything, right? I guess there's no longer any problem between the two of them. And I've made up my mind.
でも友やったら私のこと置いてどこか行っちゃうんだもん。探したんだよ。
But I was going to shoot you out about something. But Tomoya left me behind and went off somewhere. I was looking for you, you know? What are you saying? I'm leaving the stage in a manner befitting of the occasion.
変な気起こさなくてもいいの。一瞬置いていかれたかと思って心配したんだからね。
It's like, but you could have been just a little ways off, so you weren't as hard to find. You had to ran off with Imasaka-san. You don't have to feel weird. Jeez, I was worried because I thought you'd left me behind for a moment. Again, what are you saying? That's not like you.
はあ、言ったな。
You said it.
ねえ、友や、
それで、Tomoya.
私と付き合う気ある？
Are you going out with me? You've asked me this before, Kaoru. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like, are you dating me? Yes. Are you really dating me? Yes. Are you? Yes, we are dating. We haven't broken up yet, right? Yeah. When that time comes, Kaoru and I will. But now, yeah, of course. I don't know what they will do. I don't know what he's getting at there. Get married? This time, she nodded at his words with a smile. Once again, she's passive, but... Okay, 19th. No choices so far this entire recording. The next day, I went to the station as usual. Is it still a little early? I mean, I was pretty sure that this was this like remake for the Switch of Memories Off was like word for word the old Memories Off. It wasn't like the Xbox remake of Never 17 where they completely changed it. The reason why I'm saying that though is something notable about the Xbox remake of Ever 17 is that the choice density in it is super low. You can go a very, very long ways in that story without hitting a choice. And so that's why sometimes, did those people say people rewrite this? I don't think so, though. Yeah, as far as I was aware, this was not a rewrite. This was just a port with some graphical changes. Anyway, continuing. Is it still a little early? Oh, no, wait, it's early for. There weren't many students here. Oh, early for school. So it was clear that they still had some time to spare. Or I had still time to spare. I passed through the ticket gate, which was crowded with morning rushes, and decided to wait in front of the station for the crowd to thin out. Huh. Autumn had grown deeper, and before I knew it, I could even feel the breath of winter. By the way, yes, I know the end of Ever... There's like a massive choice route at the end of the original of Ever 17. But that's like only at the end of the original. Like most of the game is a pretty high choice density. Just like the end is this like this long stretch of just you read it. Anyway, this uniform is much more familiar to my body than it was when I was changing. Okay. I see Isumo. I see an always. I see newspaper. I don't know. I was a little earlier than usual, so I still couldn't see anyone. Maybe the usual comes from the Itsumo. There's a variation of Itsumo I don't know. There's so much Japanese I don't know. That didn't feel bad in its own way. It's nice to have a morning alone every once in a while. Insert. It's like, insert UA, but then like, the most unlikely person to disrupt the peace of your morning suddenly does. Like, Shion shows up. It's like, hey! Well, I guess it's about time. After confirming that the flow of people had finally slowed down, I began making my way down the road to the school. I stood in front of the railroad crossing on the side of the station, and the train immediately crossed it. As I waited patiently for that train to pass, I suddenly thought. The train passed in front of me. And the fact that we are walking through the same every day, as always, feels somehow comfortable. This is very wordy. Before long, the train passes by, and all of us pass through the railroad crossing at once. It's like the person that wrote this route is oddly has a weird economy of words. So they're very wordy about describing walking to school in the morning, but then conversations that he might have with the girl are kind of truncated. It's kind of weird. Okay. Before long, a train passes by, and all of us pass through the railroad crossing at once. Probably not railroad crossing, but whatever. That's when I finally realized it was there. That was the most important thing I know. That's the most important thing I know.
Ohayo.
It's good morning. It's good morning back. Okay. And there she is. The same as ever.
一人で寂しそうじゃない?
Don't you look lonely by yourself? I want you to call me a man who looks good in solitude.
それじゃあ、孤独の似合う男さん?
So, whatever that's supposed to be, the man who looks good in solitude.
学校までご一緒しない?
Would you like to come with me to school? I have no reason to refuse. Well, whatever.
じゃあ、ご一緒しようかな?
Well, then, shall we go together? She walks up next to me. Ignoring her, I continue down the hill road that leads to school.
あ、今日確か国語の課題があったよね.
Wait, what's this CG? This is not the CG count is exceeding my expectations. Does the CG blank spaces lie? Hey, you had a Japanese assignment today, right? Was there such a thing?
あったよ. もしかして忘れたの?
There it is. Did you forget? Okay. Pachi. Pachiri. I don't know what Pachiri is. I completely forgot.
そんなの隠すようなことじゃないでしょ?
That's not something to hide, is it? Ha 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 ha. And then I realized it. The fact that I can say like this with Kaoru is my new everyday life. So, that's right. It's a new diary. No, it's just a new life, right? What Ayaka was saying in the Ayaka ending, a new life. So, Uh, was it Watarashi? Atarashi life. A fade to white. Okay, so yeah, this thing, if you turn the background music off, it turns the music off for everything, not just the background. Turns it off for like the outro. So if there's music, yeah, um, may or might not get copyright claimed. It'll probably appear as a new music in uh the music whatchamacallit menu, so I'll be able to listen to it later. So what to note there was no choices um, in that end. So once you get into that, you just cruise, right? Yeah, once you get into that, you cruise. Um, you try to see what kind of there is a choice like two recordings ago that I could like mess around with, try to see if I can get alternate scenes. I don't know if I want to. I think I might just go for a different character's route. Um, and then we'll try to once and yeah, that's just what I want to do. And I would be more systematic if I went back and tried to get into a Kaoru differentiated route and then get a bad Kaoru ending if that's possible, like miss the Kaoru ending, and see how many ways I can do that and get scenes that only sometimes happen within the Kaoru route. But I think I'm gonna do this in a disorganized way, an unsystematic way, where I just go like, I'm gonna do Koyomi now, which that's the girl I'm gonna do next. Um, it's kind of odd because I tended to say like, I said that I would do it like I would go after the girl that like kinda in real life I would pick first. You know, like I try to play it like it's like my game. I try to make it like put some me into this. Um, and going for Koyomi next is kind of not quite doing that. That would be like going for Shion next, I think. But um, I want to do Koyomi next just because that's the easiest launch point. I think I don't have to go back all the way to the beginning to get her out. I just need to go to the place, go to when Kaoru insists we study with her after school, when we already promised to Koyomi that we would help her do her stuff, and just deny Kaoru and say, I know I already made a commitment for after school today. And that should launch me into the Koyomi route. If what I suspect is true is true. Um, a lot of katakana words in here I have not been trying to read in these credits. So that's what I'm going to do next is Koyomi, I think. I'm going to try to bounce off an old save file and get it. Okay, that's the last CG. So does that mean we're getting to the end of these credits? I can probably press the B button on my Switch controller and it will skip it. I just don't want. I just want to not skip it. I don't know. It's being a completionist in weird, specific ways. That makes it even worse. Complete it with. I'm not even listening to the music. I will listen to the music afterwards. As soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to turn the background music up a notch. I'm going to listen to the song. Maybe I'll comment on it later. Okay. So I'll look at this first. Yeah, Takeshi Albo's music always has English titles. This may be the last time we can meet. That might be the in credit music right there. Or this. I believe this right here is the copyrighted thing. uh, okay. Well, I'll look at it. That's like about the list of credits, right? 4.5 minutes. So yeah, scenes list. So I seek the book. Then one after that, Confusion Mind. It's funny that that's a now that's kind of funny. It's funny that's a scene title in Memories Off, and it's a title of a soundtrack track by Takeshi Abo in Never Seven. Confusion Mind. It's some. I guess it's like some sort of continuity or some sort of reference or something. Oh yeah, so that's what it is. A New Life. Yeah. So it's continuous from whatever is before. It's continuous from 88 down. Right. Okay. And we have two endings. We have ending number 1, which is the Ayaka ending. And we have ending number 4, which is the Kaoru ending. Okay. So that's 2 out of the 11 endings. Some of them are probably for like the after story and Pure and stuff, but so probably like out of 9 maybe. Maybe if Pure has 2 endings out of 8. 80 out of the 153, it's a little more than half the scenes. 50 out of 167, a little less than a third of the CGs, and all but 1 of the background musics. Probably the last background music is end credit music for when you get the golden ending, whatever that is. Or there might be some weird thing like Ever 17 had background music that only played in one scene on like one route. It was like metal music. We didn't get experience in my Let's Play because I had the background music on while I was playing, but then I went back and did the whole thing all over again with the background music. Yeah, there was like a background music that only played in like one spot. It was like trying to be like metal. It was like Rash's guitar music. Anyway, album. So we have not got new Ayaka. I'm just scrolling through for completeness. Yeah. I saw a sprite of her, but we didn't get a CG. Nothing new for Yue. And Yue just kind of abandoned you. Which, oof. Couldn't really, I had a hard time keeping her as a friend. She kind of slinked off. No new for Shion. Kaoru, we have the 2 faces in front of the blackboard. Her looking at the sea, we still don't know what that is. What she was looking at out there. And it came back and reprised that at the end where it's like, what do you see, Tomoya? Looking out to sea, and he just doesn't know. It never resolves that. Head on his shoulder in the train. When she's taking a phone call from Ayaka in his room. She's just sitting there studying on the roof, watching a movie. Only this is the one where you watch a movie with her, but you pick the wrong answer. So no, this is the correct one. It's watching a movie on a school day, and then she sees her previous boyfriend in the credits. Watching a movie on the day off, just a romance. In the station and sees her ex-boyfriend. Looking for the novelization of the movie she watched and never actually ever finding it. The route ends with her not finding it. Oh, no, that's when she sees her boyfriend. Sorry, that's like, oh, there he is. Um, so this one is just when she's like waiting for him in the station. Yeah, when it's raining. And this is walking to him with him to school, basically replacing Yue for him. Minamo, we just had the first three for her. And we got them because we did it pretty good. We did a near perfect score for Yame. But I think Kaoru kind of defaults and overwrites her. So, not Minamo. So, because we had a good Kaoru score, it like overwrote and made it so we didn't get funneled into Minamo's route. And then same thing. And then yeah, we only have two for Koyomi. Now we might have more here because we got another ending. This we already saw this, but the Ayaka and Yue poster, they're wearing different levels of school uniform, but okay. The Ayaka from the menu. The Yue, like concept art, promotional art. Ayaka on the phone with the two umbrellas. I presume this is not, although this is kind of like a promotional art thing, this is a poster. I can imagine this doesn't go into the Ayaka category because it probably doesn't appear in the game. This is canon, right? Right? She's gonna, oh, bring the umbrellas, and she dies. Kaoru holding a burger while talking on the phone. Okay. Yes, that reminds me of Maya from Ace Attorney. The problem is with Maya Fey is that she's kind of tainted because what the Japanese writers wrote was she actually really likes ramen, not burgers. And then the English translators changed it to burgers. Kind of like the English translators of Ever 17 changed the tuna sandwiches into chicken sandwiches. But like, it works, it does that to me. Like, I always think of Maya Fey as liking burgers. Or I don't think of her as liking ramen, even though I had the head knowledge that it was originally ramen in Japanese. It like imprinted on me. So like, it's like I wish they would have written burgers from the start in Japanese. Same thing with the chicken sandwiches. It's like, if you didn't know this, I actually really like chicken sandwiches. And fast food like chicken sandwiches specifically. Like I'll eat like lots of Chick-fil-A and chicken sandwiches and KFC chicken sandwiches and Popeye's chicken sandwiches. And I probably eat a Burger King chicken sandwich. I probably really would like it. I just haven't tried it. I think it's called like a Chick King or something. So like when I imagine cooking chicken sandwiches, like that somehow like became really important to me as part of like the lore of Ever 17. And it's like I wish they should have written chicken sandwiches from the start. Like the English version became my version. Okay. We have her on the floor with a dog, but we don't really see the dog anywhere in the actual story. So okay, what is this? An unused character? Is this a character that might appear in Pure or something? Like, I don't know of any characters that actually have the actual black hair. That's the thing. Because most Japanese people have black hair, right? So, like, that's like normal hair. It's odd that, like, yeah, no one has that. Where is this character? That's odd. Some of them have brown hair, but it's more rare. Amigo, which is Spanish for friend. We've got a cactus wearing a sombrero, which gives you this kind of Arizona slash Mexico vibe. And we have that character again that we saw with Ayaka. So this character, this is getting interesting. What is this character? They appeared twice now. Will they really like drop a new character into the game? Is there like a long ploy here? What? And she has kind of like that snaggletooth. That one tooth sticking down. Is this like this game predate? Is this like proto Tsugumi or something? Huh. That weirds me out. She appears twice. Well, I will say though, she doesn't have the tooth thing here. Jamie has like a little bit subtly, but not as you don't see the tooth thing as extremely. And yeah, she has like the two tails. Like she ties her hair on both sides, right? That kind of hairstyle. It's like a proto UA maybe? Like it's like an earlier idea of what UA was gonna look like before they changed her style, but Ayaka and Kaoru's style was more finalized at the time. Oh, maybe we'll find out. That would be crazy if like you know that slot above other, you know like if like this, you know what's weird is like a row of 4 and a row of 3. If like stuff got like filled in or something later, that would be weird. And there's like no spoilers on the cover or something. Yeah, maybe that was like an earlier design of one of these characters. This isn't actually a new character. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll like Google it after I'm completing the entire game and see what's going on there with that character. Okay, that's it for now. I got some music to listen to. And I'll come back later with trying to go into, I think it's going to be Koyomi's route, the purple-haired girl. If you watch this, thank you for watching it. This is getting a surprisingly, I know it's not getting a lot of views, getting like 10 views in the teens, but I was expecting like 0 views on this. This is like getting more views than SDRA. I don't know how that's happening. So anyway, if you watch that, thank you for watching it. You people that are actually watching this.